Good evening, everybody. This is a ghost story live, so if you have a story you would love to share, feel free to click the guest button down below. I would love to have you on. So, oops, let's turn that off. Alright, let's wait a few more moments, a few more minutes. Thanks for the likes, Phoenix Ash. I appreciate you. This is being screen recorded, so if you need something to fall asleep to, go to my YouTube channel. It will be there. So, yeah. Alright. Well, I guess I will start with one of my stories just to kick the live off. Thank you for the share, Phoenix Ash. I appreciate you. Alright, so where to begin? Okay. I was stationed out in Japan back in 2013 to 2016. And at the time, I was trying to learn how to astral project. I was looking up a lot of YouTube tutorials on how to do it, and none of the techniques could help me. So I would resort to some of my other friends that were of the more pagan community on my ship. Keep in mind, I'm Catholic at the time. And I asked them how they did it. And they told me a way, but I totally forgot it. Well, welcome back, John. So, they told me about a technique, but I forgot what it was because it didn't work for me. But I remember one night I was just so fed up with not being able to do it. And being in the military, you gotta get up extremely early to make it to quarters on time. So I remember thinking, I gotta get up early tomorrow. I don't have any time for this. So I'm laying down, and about 3 minutes later, although my eyes were still closed, I felt myself leave my body, floating. I was very conscious when this happened. And I'm thinking, oh my God, this is really happening. This is really happening. Yeah, finally. I didn't make it far at all. I open my eyes and I see my bedroom's door. Out of nowhere, a giant shadow hand just grabbed me and threw me right back in my body. I still remember seeing myself from a third-person point of view, twitching left and right. I looked to the left, and there was an old box TV playing nothing but static. I did not have a TV in my room. On the right of it was a shadow figure in a suit, arms crossed, just not trying to be menacing, not trying to be intimidating, but just looking at me. Not just looking at me, just, you're lucky I was here. You're not ready to be out there yet. After that, I wake up from this experience and I'm thinking, wow, this just happened. That was amazing. I need to try it again. And of course, to no avail. Since then, I haven't been able to repeat the experience. there was another experience where I thought I was astral projecting. Excuse me. It started out in a dream, but then I ended up in my front yard in astral form, and then I woke up. That one I feel is like right in the middle. Not sure. But yeah, those are. That is one of my stories. So, if you have a story you'd like to share, click the guest button down below. Would love to have you on. This is being screen recorded, so it will be on YouTube. But if you want to share but don't want to be on YouTube, just let me know and I will edit your story out. Phoenix Ash, welcome back. Hey there.
Hey, what's going on, brother?
Nothing much, man. You know the rules, man. It's all you.
Yeah, man, like that's pretty cool. I was always interested in like the astral projection. I think like the farthest I think I've ever experienced is where I kind of, would try some techniques, and the closest I ever remember getting to is where I knew was very aware that my eyes were closed, but it was like almost like a translucent, like seeing through your eyelids and being able to look around.
Mm-hmm.
And when I realized that that was the case, that's when I guess I woke up, and like you, I could never do it again, but I always thought that was pretty cool. But no, I've had only two really other experiences that kind of fit within your thing, but well, I don't know if it's okay, but like I never thought I really truly believed in ghosts,
Mm-hmm.
or spirits, and I was maybe like 10 years old, and back in this time, like all my extended family and family would go out and do like big grocery shopping and all that on the weekends, and I decided one day I'm not going to go, so I stayed at my grandmother's home and was sitting in the living room, have a dining room and a table, adjacent to there, and I'm just chilling. And after about chilling, watching TV for about an hour, I start hearing this rolling coming from the dining room. And she had a round table with a square tablecloth, so you had the corners draping over, and that all four chairs, and you could see under the table through the draping of the corner of the tablecloth. And I was hearing this little rolling, and I'm like, what is that? And I look, and I don't say anything. So I turn back around. 5 minutes later, I start hearing it again, and I turn, and I look down under the table near the leg. There's this little boy that's like 6, 7 years old, and he's rolling like an old wooden like train toy, and he's just rolling it back and forth, and I'm like, I'm so taken back that it's like somebody I don't know. It's not one of my cousins, none of that. And he's just playing, like he's just like just chilling. And looking back now, I remember very vividly now that he was like kind of like how you see in movies where it's just like not translucent, but kind of white or beige, kind of like just lacking color. But at that point, I was just so like freaked out and trying to figure what was going on, like that didn't even register. So as I'm watching him, he kind of looking at me, he starts becoming aware that somebody's watching him, and he looks up slowly, looks right at me, and he's like freaked out, like, oh man, this person's watching me, or this dude's looking at me. And he gets up and he runs down the hallway, which is going down to the rooms and towards the restroom hallway, and I hear his feet, clagging down the hallway, and it just kind of fades out. And so I run out. I literally run out my grandparents' front door, and I stay outside in the yard till they all get back.
Wow.
So So I'm freaked out, and I was like, I'm not looking to see what's going on. And so my grandmother comes back. Finally, they all come back, and I'm telling them this story. And she literally asked me, and I didn't tell her this yet. She tells me, "Did he have the train?"
Ooh.
And at that point, I was just like, "That's crazy." And ever since then, like I always made sure not to stay there by myself. But yeah, that's one of my stories. Yeah.
No, for sure, man. I appreciate you. Thank you. It's always more trippy when it's a shared experience. It's like, wait, you saw that too? You
Yeah,
know?
because it legitimizes a bit more what you saw. So it's like you have to take consideration more that it was real.
Yeah, absolutely. All right,
But yeah, I
man.
appreciate it, man.
And just for the record too, so when you see the ghost stories right here, on the banner, just think of paranormal stories. So like UFO encounters, cryptid encounters, anything under the paranormal umbrella, really. So
Oh, got you.
yeah, so if you have any other stories you'd like to share in the future or even later on tonight, feel free to come
Oh,
on.
okay, cool. Yeah, like I said, I only have one more other story like that. If y'all got time, I can share it. But it's like the only, two things that were pretty legitimate in my life that I truly remember. But yeah, appreciate it.
No problem, bro. Take it easy. And there's no time limit either, so yeah. All right. Take care, Ash. All right, thank you, guys. Okay, so Leaf over Keef, I see you, and I can't see your username, but and SHX, I see you, and Army helmet with goggles with binoculars, I see you. One more thing, guys. If you like what you see here, tap that screen for the likes and share this to others that are into the spooky. We are in spooky season. Also, of course, follow if you like this. Leaf over Keef, you are up. All right. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Yeah, once again, guys, if you guys like this, click the like, smash that button, tap the screen, and click the follow if you want to keep up with me. So, all right. Up next, we have, I can't see your username, but Shulio, I see you, Copperton, I see you, but the next one is Army helmet with binoculars. Hello there.
Hello.
Hi, thank you for being here. How old are you?
I'm 19.
Perfect. Try not to cuss like FDFF. It's okay to swear here and there, and it's okay to have religion in your story, but not to a point to where it's preachy. And are you okay with your story being on YouTube?
Yes, I am.
Perfect. All right, it is all you. Thank you for being here.
When I was about 10 or 11, we moved into a new house, and we have never lived in a house before. We've always lived in apartments. And the previous owners was a mother and son, and a husband, but her husband had passed away earlier on. And the son actually drove his car into a nearby lake, and unalived himself. And the mother passed away the same year in the house. And so there would be times where, we're growing up and we would hear things, like we would all be sitting in the living room at night watching a movie. And we have cameras outside of our house, like in our driveway and on the sides of the house. And we would hear car doors slam.
Mm-hmm.
And we would be looking at the cameras and none of the doors were open on the cars. Or we would hear a door close. Or we would hear the doggy door flap, but both dogs were already inside. And it would be like things like that where like we'd wake up and one day like there would be like steam in the bathroom, like somebody had just taken a shower and nobody had taken a shower. Just things like that made our house feel like it was still lived in, but we weren't the ones like living in it.
Seemed like you had
Or not the
unwanted
only
roommates.
Yeah. which they were always respectful. I mean, like, there was never, like, any type of, like, demonic or anything like that. Like, no harmful presences.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just, like, it felt like we had, like, roommates who, like, we didn't know were there.
No, for sure.
Yeah, that's the story.
For sure. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, your story's valid, and I tell people it doesn't always have to be like The Conjuring or The Exorcist, you know? Like, I tell people the story could be as simple as walking next to a graveyard and seeing a shadow figure, and that was it. Because it happens, you know? So,
Yeah.
thank you for being here, though. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Of course. Take care. All right. Real demonic possession. Ashley, feel free to be a guest. Would love to hear about it. All right. And Copperton, you are next. Exulio, you are second. And Isaiah, I see you. Don't worry. Thank you, Lane. I appreciate you. Hi, Copperton. Thank you for being here. How old are you?
That's a lot. Ain't dangerous. But it's a good thing I bought two. One of them caught on fire. No. What? The fire department.
Okay. That's okay. All right. Thank you, Lane. I appreciate you. Thank you. All right. Exulio, you are next. Or Julio, excuse me. I'm sorry. Hello there.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly, yes. Excuse that. Thank you, Lane. How old are you?
I'm 18.
You're 18?
Yep.
All right. Are you okay with your story being on YouTube?
Yep.
All right, man. It's okay to... How you put it? Try not to cuss like FDFF. It's okay to have swear here and there, and it's okay to have religion in your story, but not to a point to where it's preachy. It is all
Okay.
you.
Okay. So the story I have is when I was somewhere, I would say 5th grade, I would say. That's where my story starts.
Mm-hmm.
So I've grown up in a Christian family. I was raised Christian, but that's a whole different story. But so I've always had an understanding from what my parents believed was that there was a whole spiritual world besides our own, and that, you know, things would come into our world and there would be such as things as demons and ghosts
Mm-hmm.
and stuff we just can't explain. So I've always believed that. I've always believed there's been a spiritual side to things, but I really didn't experience it until I was in grade school. And the experience that really made me question a lot of things in this world was the moment that we moved into, I believe, our 3rd house. So I was in the kitchen. Actually, we were moving out of that house, to be correct. And I went into the kitchen with my family and we were packing up, I think, some dishes. It was towards the end of our moving out process, so we were a few months from moving out. I specifically remember chatting with my sisters in the kitchen. I have 2 sisters. Well, one of them was gone at this point. So what I didn't know was that one of them was gone. And I was chatting with my sister in the kitchen. So I hear the front garage door open. So we have this garage door that opened into this like foyer, and we had a staircase that was immediately across from the garage door. So you could easily go from the garage door to the foyer and to the stair landing, which led up to the 2nd floor. So I heard the garage door open, but exactly when the garage door opened, I heard thumping footsteps across the tile, which was like bing, bang, boom, like somebody was almost running.
Yeah.
And I heard it continue up the stairs. As soon as I heard the garage door open, I was like, hey, Mom, no answer, because it just went straight up the stairs. So I'm like, what the hell? So I go over there, and I hear these footsteps keep going, like thumpity thump thump, clearly up the steps. And I get to the part in the foyer where I can peek over on the landing that's on the 2nd level, and I clearly see somebody's hair that looked like my sister's hair because she had long, dark brown hair. It was very curly, and it looked exactly like my sister's. It was like if somebody was running, and you could just see the trails of her hair go towards my parents' bedroom. So I was like, my sister loved to play pranks on me, so I was assuming it was her. And I was like, okay, like, you're funny, sis, like, come on out. And I was too scared to go in my parents' room because I thought she would jump scare me. So I was like trying to get up the courage, and I brought like a flashlight and everything. I just didn't go to my parents' room, and I chickened out. So I was like, oh, like to my other sister, I was like, okay, I think like my other sister's here, and like we need to call her, and like you need to help me find her or whatever. And so we try to go upstairs, and we keep hearing like stuff like moving around in my parents' closet. So we're like, she's in the closet, like we're not gonna come out, so we're just gonna call her, right? We call her and she picks up. So we're like, hey sis, like come on out, like you're kind of scaring us, like what are you doing? And she's like, what do you mean? And we're like, yeah, you can come out of the closet. And she was like, I'm not even home. So I was freaking out at that point. I was like, what do you mean you're not home? And she's like, yeah, I'm out at dinner with a friend. Like, and I was like, yeah, like I clearly like I saw you. Like I literally saw you. I saw like you running up the stairs and I heard you. She's like, no, I wasn't there. And what's funny is my other sister, because I have like a middle sister and like the oldest sister, the middle sister saw my sister also like in the mirror. And it's so crazy because like she had the same experience too, where she like heard footsteps, saw my sister disappear in the bathroom, and she like literally saw her face to face. And it was so weird. After that, it kind of got weird also because I kind of got into this whole idea of into the paranormal. So I wanted to discover it, right? I ended up seeing like having like this like shadowy figure like always in my peripheral. This was after like we moved out of that house. But I've always had that like peripheral figure in my mind and kind of in the corner of my eye, and that's never been like, that's always been there. So I don't know what happened. Like I kind of got into like discovering the paranormal, but I think something like attached itself to me, and I kind of see it like in the back of my mind. So
No,
yeah,
for sure, man. Do you feel it's like peeking at you whenever like at the corner of your eye, and when you look at it, it just goes away like really quick?
yeah, I mean that happens occasionally. I had this point where like I felt like really like spiritually oppressed. I think that's like the better term for it, because I felt like there was this point during Halloween like 3 or 4 years ago where like I had this like, I guess, episode where it was like I couldn't breathe. Like I felt like somebody was sitting on my chest like while I was laying in bed.
Yeah.
And it was absolutely terrifying. And I was like, I don't give permission to have whatever is this going into my body, because, you know, I grew up believing that there are things trying to enter my body. So I'm like, hey, I don't give permission.
Yeah.
It immediately stopped. And I also had another experience where like I had that same type of encounter when I was like on a shroom trip. And it was kind of insane, where it was everything negative about me. Like I saw like the demon that has been in the corner of my eye, and I saw it face to face. But it wasn't just me. It was like everything negative about myself. Yeah, so it like made me believe that like I like this demon thing was everything negative about myself. It was literally crazy. So I've always had experiences with the paranormal like that.
Oh, for sure. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for having the courage to share that.
Yeah.
Once again, I'm gonna ask, are you okay with your story being on YouTube?
Yeah.
Good. Just making sure. Thank you. Is it Julio or Exilio?
Julio, yeah.
Julio, gotcha. Thank you, Julio. I appreciate you and your time.
I got you.
Take care. All right. Oh, wonderful news. There is nobody in the queue. So, if you have a story you'd love to share, click the guest button down below. Would love to have you on. And please don't type out your story in the comments. Too much happens on my side to the point where I can't really keep up with it, because a lot of interfering is going on with notifications on my end. So if you have a story you'd like to share, click the guest button down below, and we'd love to have you on. Or if you'd rather hear one of my stories, just type it out. Say your stories. Another thing I do, guys, is I do ghost story narrations. So if you have a paranormal tale you'd like me to narrate, I'll make a whole TikTok, YouTube / Instagram video about it. And yeah, check it out on my main page, and if it's something you're interested in, just DM it to me. DM me your story. It doesn't have to be a whole email or anything like that. No, just send it to me to my DMs. So, but yeah, if you like what you hear, tap the screen and follow. Keep up with me, and yeah. So the queue is empty, and all this is being screen recorded, and it will be on my YouTube channel. And of course, if you don't want your story being on the channel, just let me know, and I will gladly edit it out. No issues. So, hey Belladonna, good to see you. Scoot, thank you for the follow. All right, hey Belladonna. I'm gonna tell one of my stories. Oh, excuse me. Hey there.
Hi.
Hey.
I just want to say hi to you.
Oh no, for sure.
Just want
Hey.
to say hi to you, and just ask you, are you doing? Because I'm not, because I've not seen you for a while. Just want to say, how are you doing?
Not for sure. You okay with this conversation being on YouTube? Just asking.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't mind.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm doing great. Yeah, no. Decided to do my stories again at this hour, because a lot more traction happens in this hour. So, but yeah, no, I'm doing good though. In a couple of weeks, I have a producing session with a producer, and
Nice. Nice.
getting myself back into the music deal. So
New songs? It could be nice new songs. New songs.
yeah, new songs.
I love to hear them.
Yeah, no, but yeah, I won't be able to play live for a while though, because I need at least like 5 to 6 songs. This is gonna take a little bit, so. But yeah, that's what's up though, and
Yeah.
finally back
Yeah,
in the
because
States.
of course, I come on live now on TikTok. I do it at night. I do, go live at TikTok at night. I do.
Mhm.
And of course, I sing in my own live. I do, and play the music.
Yeah.
So I did in my live. I do now. Like I'm on live now. I go bed Donna. I'm just live. I do on TikTok late night. I do just for the fun of it.
No, for sure. That's good. Just have fun with it, and see what works for you. So.
Yeah, I sing and everything. So people always come in. They hear me sing and and talk and things like that. I did.
For sure. Well, yeah. If you have a story you'd like me to narrate, just DM it to me. You know what to do. But yeah, no, I'm doing great. I hope you're doing great too, Belladonna.
Yeah, I'm doing fine.
Good.
Because I've been working on, working at McDonald's. I am, 5 days a week. I am,
Mhm.
and and of course I'm going on TikTok. I've been on me. Late night been on me. Doing my lives. Singing and stuff. So
No, for sure.
just keeping myself busy. That's it.
No, for sure. That's good. All right. Well, thank you for.
I just want to say good night. Because I'm going to go to bed now.
Have a wonderful night.
So it's
Bella.
getting a little late for me.
You're good. All right. Take care.
Okay, night.
Night. All right. Yeah, Kayla. Yeah, awesome. I see you in the. Oh, Kayla. Kayla, you were in the guest box. If you want to tell your story, click the guest button down below again. We'd love to have you on. All right, yeah. Okay, so it's brought to my attention that people are seeing host stories instead of ghost stories. I'll need to fix that for the next live. But thank you for the activity, guys. You guys are the best. And yeah. Hello there. Can you hear me?
Yo,
How old are you?
21.
Okay. Do you have a story?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, hold on real quick. Let me just put this out there. I have no time for trolls. I don't. And if you're gonna troll, dude, just leave, dude. All right.
I'm not trolling, but like,
Okay. So real quick, you're okay with this being on YouTube? You said yes, right?
yeah.
Perfect. And what else? Try not to cuss like FDFF. It's okay to swear here and there. It's okay to have religion in your story, but not to a point to where it's preachy. That being said, it's all you. Carry on. Yes, Kayla.
All right, I got a bunch of stories that are based. They're all true, but like, what type of stories are you not allowing? Like,
So
like,
okay. So it could be any kind of paranormal story. So cryptids,
like
UFOs.
extraterrestrials.
Yeah, that's absolutely valid. Yeah,
All
absolutely.
right. Look. I'll tell you about this one story after I sweep this stuff up. I'm about to be done already, but so like, all right, I got it done. But look, I had a dream. It was not really a dream because as soon as I used to live in a shed, and it was like really late at night, and I heard some weird noises like on repeat. It sounded like Morse code, but like as if somebody was speaking it like extremely fast. And I heard like a bunch of stepping outside of my shed, right? And
Yeah. No. No. Save myself the trouble. All right, yeah. So yeah, Kayla, feel free to be a guest if you like. You want me to invite you, or it's okay to say no. But yeah, to everyone else that's here, if you have a story you'd like to share, click the guest button down below. I would love to have you on. If you guys want me to tell one of my stories, just let me know. Yeah, Leaf. I'm gonna be honest, dude. It's all like, I rarely, like, this only happened to me one time. Like, this kind of case only happened one time when it was, okay, hold on. It's mainly dudes. It's mainly dudes that are like really young that want to pull this right here, and I just don't have time for it, dude. Yeah, the rules say you need to be 18 or older, but like it's always a really young dudes that are like barely 18 to like 21, in that age gap. Really just want to troll and just act at the fool. It's always them. I only had one female do that, and that was like when I first started doing this. But generally, they never want to take time to troll. So yeah. Anyway, all right, guys. Well, I'm gonna tell one of my stories. The queue box is empty, so if you have a story you'd like to tell, click the guest button down below. Yeah, D. Click the guest button. Yeah. If you guys can't find the guest button, let me know so I can just invite you. Oh, there we go. Hey there.
Hi, how are you?
Doing good. Thank you for being here. Are you okay with your story being on YouTube?
Absolutely.
Good.
Absolutely.
How old are you?
Right now I'm 50, but when this happened,
Now hold
I
on.
was probably about 19.
For sure. Just let me go over the rules real quick. Try not to cuss like FDFF. It's okay to swear here and there, and it's okay to have religion in your story, but not to a point to where it's preachy. That being said, it is all you, and thank you so much for being here.
Okay, no problem. Thanks for having me. But anyway, at one time I was living with my dad, and my bedroom was like very, very dark. Like you couldn't see anything around you.
Mm-hmm.
So I was sleeping I was laying on my left side, and I heard a noise. I was hearing noises behind me, like from my waist. But I thought it was my garbage,
Yeah.
like a little waste basket that I had there.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, like, I started to think, like, could it be a mouse? My dad is like a super clean freak, and there's like no possible way that it could be a mouse. But this is what I was thinking, hearing the noises. So I opened my eyes, and because my room is really, really dark, I had to I waited a few minutes so that my eyes can start to adjust so that I can see a little bit. So really quick, I turned really fast to my right side to see if I can catch this mouse that I thought it was. And when I did that, I had a face almost nose to nose to my face. And he had, it was just shoulders up. So like when I turned from my left to my right, he was in my face. So like my face turned back like to the middle, and he backed up, and he had like a sombrero, those hats with the little
Yeah.
red balls around them.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he was only from his shoulders up, and he just like backed up away from me, and I I was startled, I got scared, and I called out for my dad, and it just like disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
But that was probably the first encounter that I saw that like really, really scared me.
Oh, for sure. I appreciate you. Thank you for sharing that.
Another time I was in one of my in-laws' house. I was probably about 22 or 23. And I was hearing I was sleeping, we slept over in in-laws' house. So I was sleeping in the living room. And there's like a hallway that goes past the living room to the bedrooms. So I was hearing like footsteps. Like, when a child walks, you kind of hear like their little sticky feet,
Yeah.
So I was hearing footsteps. So when I sat up and I looked, I could see a little boy, and he had blonde hair, and it was the whole little boy. Like I could see his whole body up until his ankles. Like I could hear his feet, but he didn't have any feet.
Mm-hmm.
And he looked at me, and he put his finger to his lips, and like me with his lips.
Mm-hmm.
And his finger, and like I froze. It was like nothing I could say, nothing I could do. I tapped to my husband at the time. I was like shaking him like to wake up, and he was just knocked out, and he didn't get up. But he just walked by from like where the kitchen was towards the bedrooms, and just disappeared.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've had a couple of encounters. There was another time when I was a kid. I was with my sister, and we were laughing. We were like young teens. I might have been like 13, and she might have been like 11, 12. And so we were laying down, and we were face to face, and we were cracking up, and we were just joking and laughing. And in the middle of one of our conversations that we both started laughing, there was a third laugh.
Oh.
It was like a muffled laugh, like
Yeah.
that. So we both froze, and we both looked at each other like, "Did you hear that? Did you hear that?" And we're just looking at each other, and then it happened again. We heard it again, and we both jumped up, and we started hollering for my mom. And so she came to the room, and she laughed at both of us because she used to see things in that apartment all the time, so she wasn't scared. But yeah. Yeah, I have a couple of stories for that apartment. We used to see things and hear things all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But
For sure.
yeah.
No, I appreciate you telling your stories. Thank you for contributing to the live. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. Anytime. You guys have a good night.
Quick question, D.
Yeah.
When you look at the screen, does it say host stories or ghost stories?
It says ghost stories.
Thank you. Okay, someone said they saw host stories. I'm like,
It's half of the G is cut off, but you can still tell what it says.
got it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Take care, D.
You as well.
Okay. John Paul Nagel, you are up next. Then it'll be Carol's spot. Hi there.
Hi, how you doing?
Doing great. Doing great. Thank you for being here. How old are you?
I'm 67, Los Angeles.
Perfect. And are you okay with your story being on YouTube?
Oh yeah, I don't care.
Perfect.
I
Have you heard
I've
the
been
rules?
involved in parapsychology.
Cool. Have you heard the rules already?
No, I haven't. I just
Okay.
came, sir.
For sure, yeah. I heard your parapsychology. I'm already interested. Um, it's okay. Okay, try not to cuss like FEFF. It's okay to swear
Oh
here and
yeah,
there.
yeah.
And it's okay to have religion in your story, but not to a point to where it's preaching. That being said,
No, I don't do that.
it
Yeah.
is all you. Thank you for being here.
Well, real quick, my mom was very gifted and got messages,
Hmm.
and real quick, my grandma is buried over at Hollywood Forever.
Oh,
And
okay.
yeah, and I give credit to the management because, and this is probably before you're born, in the early 70s, the cemetery fell into ruin. I mean, people were stealing stuff. I mean, it really
Oh.
fell into decay. The roads were all dirt. But the mausoleum where Rudolph Valentino is buried, I went in there when I was a little kid while my mom was visiting my grandmother's grave.
Hmm.
So you walk in, they're still there, marble statues, very foreboding. It's, back then it was kind of a little spooky. And the back doors and the front doors are both metal, but at the time, the back doors were chained, which, wouldn't cut it today because of the fire codes.
Yeah.
So I'm walking down, I make a left, and I'm going down towards where Rudolph Valentino is, and this guy walks by me in a brown suit and a hat. Doesn't say anything, and smiles, but just walks.
Hmm.
As I'm going down the hallway, I don't hear the metal doors opening, and they're probably about 10 feet tall, solid metal doors. I mean, you could hear them. So I went back, told my mom. She said, you probably saw a ghost, and she told me that I had this gift that I would get messages. I was like, yeah, whatever. But later on, after my mom had passed, I started doing readings for people. I do it for free. I don't charge.
Hmm.
But I also pick up on a lot of spirits. And one of the places, I don't know, are you in California?
Yes.
Okay. So do you know where Rialto is?
I do not know.
Okay, it's out towards San Bernardino. It's about, from the valley, about a 2-hour drive. If you look up on the internet, put in Haunted Church in Rialto or The Girl in the Window.
Oh.
Okay, and they give tours. I haven't been there, about 12 years, but I went there during the week of Halloween. But it's actually a vortex, and I'm being serious,
Hmm.
for spirit activity. In fact, about, I think 25 years ago, Rialto PD got a burglar alarm. So 2 police officers went down from the street to the basement. And as they were coming up the stairs, they saw a woman half dressed.
Oh.
They didn't see her feet, and this is documented. It's like the Whaley House in San Diego, which is very well documented, which I would suggest you go. But if you go to this church, and if they ever have any night events, I would suggest you go. The reason I got involved, and I can't mention his name, but about 1996, I was in college. After the Marine Corps, I was in law enforcement, and I was doing a thesis on the Zodiac Killer.
Hmm.
And there's a girl down in Riverside, Cherry Joe Bates. So, and I know you have to be careful of the words, which I hate being restricted on words.
I know.
But
I know.
yeah, basically she was unalive, and they think it was the Zodiac. But like an idiot, I went down there the anniversary of her unaliving and try to get a feel for it at Riverside Community College. You can read about it. And they never did catch a person. But I had a lot of strange stuff happening at the house. And one time I was at El Camino College at night, and it said that she had been cremated. And it kind of just it didn't sit with me right. I just felt, I'm being serious. I thought, well, she's Catholic, and Catholics really don't believe in cremation. So I don't know what possessed me to do this, but I drove at night to the cemetery in Riverside at night, up in the hills. I forget the name of it. And as I'm driving in, the gates are wide open, and all of a sudden, I see the statue, Mother Mary holding Jesus. And I kind of snap out of it, and I'm like, what the hell am I doing here? I drove probably like 100 miles an hour. I made it from Riverside to Burbank in 40 minutes. And I called the cemetery the next day, and I said, hey, do you guys ever leave the gates open? And they said no. And, you know, I don't know what she was trying to communicate. I was trying to, because I had this gift, and I wasn't trying to be arrogant, but I thought I could help solve her demise. And I spent a lot of time. Unfortunately, they paved over the area that I was looking. Supposedly, this weapon, a knife, was left at the scene of the crime. And now there's a building there, so you could never, you could probably never find it. But I did have a bad experience, and I would also tell people, you see these stories about ghost hunters and stuff.
Yeah.
Be very cautious, because I'm being honest, and I've been through this, is you never know what you're going to bring home with you. And, there's a guy on TikTok back east somewhere, and he goes to cemeteries at night. But you got to realize not everybody is a good spirit. There are bad spirits. And, I thought I had this gift, but this girl actually wound up, terrorizing my old girlfriend. And finally, I had to take all my stuff and take it to this woman in Yucaipa who destroyed it, but had to do like a special prayer. But to this day, I never got back involved in that case, but I do get a lot of messages. Again, I give readings for free. I'm not, because I just get, and a lot of people go, well, how do you get these messages? And I'd be honest, I really don't know. I know it's a gift from God. I mean, this is just my view, not preaching, but I don't abuse it, and a lot of, I think there are a lot of scams out there. Like, I could tell you right now that you're going to come into some money, but you might go out tonight, drink, and get unalive, and it might not happen. So the future can always change. There is no definite, and no one can tell everything exactly 100%. Because, like, I do a reading, and I'll get like 85% of the information right, but there might be 10 or 15 cents or 15% I don't get right. And the other thing I don't do is I don't ask, like, well, did somebody leave? I don't do that, because that's kind of, what's the word they use? Leading somebody into an answer. But like I said, I've had some experiences. The other thing I would suggest you do, I can't go there anymore because I got really sick. I've been there a few times, but I just got sick one time, is the Winchester House up in San Jose. And basically, Sarah Winchester, her husband invented the Winchester repeating, rifle.
Yeah.
So she went to a seance, and she was told as long as she built the house, for the spirits, she'd be protected. And it's really a weird house. I mean, it's on YouTube. There's doors going to nowhere, stairs, dead. I mean, but in the seance room, it's just really dark energy. But there was a mix-up in construction, I think on Christmas Eve. I forget. I think the 40s or 50s. And she had, unalive. But go to that church in Rialto. It really, like I said, it's like a 2-hour drive. Call the place first. There's also a museum next door. But at night, when I sat in there with the group, you can feel, I mean, there's got to be thousands of spirits. And, I mean, it's got something to do with the ground. I believe in that. But, that's my story. But yeah, if you ever need me on YouTube, or you can message me. And like I said, I know there's a lot of disbelievers, and again, I get it. But, like real quick, when my dad passed away on vacation, I flew up the next day, and thank God my mom had her friend with her. And when we were at the coffin, there was a dime at the edge of the coffin. To this day, and I can't explain it, and I've tried, I find dimes and I don't mean like, going to a market, but like one time I was hiking with this gentleman with autism, and we were at Hart Park out in Newhall. And I just said, I won't say the word I said, damn, Mom and Dad, I miss you guys.
Yeah.
And as I'm hiking, there's a dime in the dirt. And I still find that, now not all the time, but like New Year's Eve about 2 years ago, I was missing my mom and dad and my soulmate. And I was doing some security work at a weed clinic. And I'm looking outside, and I go, Mom, Dad, Debbie, this is really great. I try to help people, but I just feel sometimes, we all feel like it. You get screwed sometimes, and you wonder why. So I bring in the outside place where we check people in, and this white stool. I go to the bathroom, and I've got to go to my other job on Graveyard, and on the stool was a dime. So I can't explain it. I've tried, I give up, but I know my mom and dad, are around me, and my girlfriend. But like I said, I just, I don't believe when you pass, it's the end, So, and one other thing, you seem really in tune. I've been following you before. If you get a chance, and you might want to mention it to your audience, and I don't get any money out of it, there's a book called Soul Survivor, SOUL. Survivor. And actually, I was told when I was a little boy that I was unalived at Pearl Harbor. That was my last life. But this boy recounts about his being shot down as a pilot. So I think you'd really, because I follow you. I talked to you before on another thing you have. But I hope you keep the lives up, because you have some really good ones.
Thank you. I appreciate you, man. Yeah. Thank you for your energy, for your words. And yeah, no, thank you. You're not the only medium. Is it okay if I call you a medium?
Yeah. I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
And like I said, I know you got a lot of people want to come on. I'll let you go. But if you ever need anything, you can message me. I live in the valley. Not crazy about the heat, but
it sucks here, dude.
Oh yeah. I just really that's one thing I tell people when I go to heaven. There's got to be no heat and no credit cards. So I try to make a joke with that. So, anyways, but
Oh, shoot. You accidentally popped back out. If you want to come back on and say some words, just feel free to click the guest button down below. That was not me. Thank you for being here, though. I appreciate you. Like I said, if you want to come back on there, I think that's you right there. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, sorry about that.
You're good. You're so good.
Yeah, but and the other thing, too, I always try to tell people, and recently I got really sick. And I try to always encourage people, because, I'm older, but, there's a lot of problems in the world right now. But I think and I'm being honest, like you, there's a lot of good people in the world. And yes, there's some sadness, I know, but there's goodness in the world too, and I always try to look for, which is hard sometimes, when you get beat down. But I always try to tell people there is a lot of goodness in the world, And a couple of years ago, I went and saw Anne Frank's house. And I've always been admired this girl who, just wanted to have a regular life. And of course, unfortunately, she didn't make it. But what I love about her is, even though she's gone, her story is still retold. And I think that's a testimony to love and kindness to people.
Yeah. No,
not the meanness and everything. And but yeah, the one thing I will say about you, I do feel you're a very old soul, and there is some connection with you in the Civil War. I don't know what, Um, I just feel something like a medic or something. I don't know. But there's some message. And and you don't have to tell me, I feel that you're going to be writing a book. You're kind of like in a stalled situation. You need to write the book, whatever. And I know it's spiritual. What I would suggest, because I got to do it again because I haven't been there for a while, go to the beach, take off your shoes and socks, and just put your feet in the water and the sand and get grounded again. But I do feel that you're going to write a book, and I just feel that you're very, very old soul and very spiritual. I just like I said, I don't know what I'm picking up, but there's something about you in the Civil War, and like a medic, like a doctor, a surgeon. That's what I'm saying, a surgeon on the field. I just feel that you saw a lot of anguish, but you helped a lot of people. But yeah, I'll be on again. But whatever you need, let me know. And again, God bless you, love you, and to everybody out there, I just hope you have a great day and great night. And that's all I can say to everybody.
Thank you, John. I appreciate you. Funny enough, I'm actually a Navy veteran. So.
Oh my God! See, and here's the thing. I don't know. I'm not saying but. Like I said, I don't know where this comes from. And again, I'm not trying to be funny. I mean, I'm glad, but I just feel that you're very spiritual. And here's the other thing, and this is odd. I was in the Marine Corps in the 70s, but there must be another reason we connected. You know why? Because my dad was in the Navy. He was on the USS Alabama.
Wow.
So... See, we get brought together for some reason, and I know it's a bigger picture, but definitely connect with me. And but I'll tell you one thing, you'll laugh. When my dad, took his trip home, we played Anchors Aweigh, and we put a Navy SEAL on his vault. And then when my mom passed, even though she wasn't in the Navy, we played Anchors Aweigh. I had to tell you that.
Mm-hmm. No, I appreciate that, dude.
Yeah, my dad was diehard Navy till the day he's probably up there still going against Army. Anyways, I'll let you go, but please contact me and let me know. Maybe sometime we can hook up and go to that church.
No, for sure, man. Thank you, John. I appreciate you.
Okay. God bless. Bye.
Take care. Bye. All right. Okay, yeah. Thank you, John, for being here. I appreciate you. All right, yeah. Once again, guys, Angel, I see you. If you have a story you'd like to tell, click the guest button down below, and I'd love to have you on. To all the mediums out there, clairvoyance, clairaudience. In my eyes, in my opinion, you guys are the real badasses here, okay? I say that because if any of Angel, I see you. Don't worry, you're in the queue. You're right next. I say this because if any of us that are not like that can't see the other side, like the most I can sense is just feel. But to those that see the other side and hear it on a daily, if anyone like us were to like me or any average person were to see your side, to see what you see, feel what you feel, a lot of us would go mad. And the fact that you guys can wake up to this every day and go to work, grab some coffee, laugh at jokes, and still go out and have fun and enjoy life, you guys are the real ones. All right, you guys are the real ones, and my heart goes out to you guys because I appreciate you guys. That's it. Thank you guys for existing. Thank you guys for being here. You're noticed, and thank you. Okay, Angel, you are up next. Hey there.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for being here. Are you okay with your story being on YouTube?
Yeah, that's fine.
Perfect. And how old are you?
I'm 19.
Perfect. Try not to cuss like FDFF. It's okay to swear here and there. And you already heard the rules, did you?
Yeah.
Carry on. It's all you.
All right. The first one was actually me and my dad. So me and my dad both experienced this at the same time. And I think I was maybe 14 or 15 at the time. And we went to this ghost town. I live in Montana for a little bit of backstory, so we have a lot of those. And it's just really regular for us to go out and visit these towns because we have some relatives, or I guess I'd say my parents have some relatives because I'm personally adopted, so I'm not biologically related to them. But we'd go visit the cemeteries and stuff like that. And we go into the church. And it's the most beautiful church I've ever seen. Like, very well preserved, has everything. Nothing's dusty. The pews are fine.
Yeah.
And it's Sunday. And so me and my dad walk in and the doors are open. And there's no one else there. My mom is off in another cabin looking at some stuff. And my brother had to run to the porta potty. And so it was just me and my papa. And we walk in and there's people in it Sunday sitting down and a sermon is being given. And so we don't want to like disturb anything. We want to kind of wait afterwards to look around because it's pretty creaky. Mm-hmm. But we sit down and we start talking to each other, like just whispering, of course, because we don't want to disturb anyone. And after we're done with not even like this 1 minute discussion of what we're going to do, we look up and there's no one in the church.
Oh.
At all.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Just complete silence. And we look at each other and we're like, what just happened? Because there's no one here anymore. And we both are there. So, like, what happened?
Yeah.
But it was just weird.
Yeah.
And now that I think about it, like, no one lives in that town because it's a ghost town. But I don't know. Something about that, it always gets me. Like, I think about it a lot in the middle of the night. Because it's just like for a few seconds, we were in a whole different world.
Yeah.
Or reality. And then it's gone. And my dad told my mom, and my mom's like, it's not funny to be joking about that. And he just looked at her and he was like, I'm not joking at all. And she just rolled her eyes. But a few years later, I think she's come around to believe it because, like, my papa does not lie. He's a very straightforward man.
Yeah.
And then I guess the second story I have is me and my sister during Halloween. And we're in this old building kind of up by the library. And there's a lot of, I don't know what they're called, but they look like cement or stone cones. And they're where miners used to, like, process things, I guess.
Okay.
Back in the old days. And there's this cabin above. And so we're hiking up there and we're just talking. And she's like, should we go inside? And it says not to go inside because it's unstable and it's sinking and rotting at this point. But she's like, no, we're fine. I just want to take a quick peek in. And the thing I remember about that is the smell, because we have a lot of wildlife that just runs in and out of there, and we have giant pack rats. So nasty. And so she goes downstairs, I go upstairs, and one of the wooden steps ends up breaking.
Okay.
And I didn't fall or trip or anything, but I definitely, like,
when you like miss a step, your heart drops. I guess it's that feeling. And so I just kept walking upstairs, and there's like, I think it was a bed frame or a table, and it had lost like 3 of its legs, and it was leaning against the wall, so it's like slanted. And I see some old papers and some rocks, so I start to pick them up and just look at them. And I'm looking at the broken window, and I don't hear anything. And my sister comes up at this point, and she goes into the other room. And the door ends up breaking off. Like, I feel so bad because just everything was breaking, and I feel like we were contributing to everything falling apart at this point. And I literally, like, kind of whisper yelled at her, like, don't touch anything at this point. And she's like, okay, well, I'm gonna go text my boyfriend real quick because he wants to know what we're doing and if we want to go out to eat. And I was like, okay, you know what, that's fine. And the sun is going down at this point, so it's not completely dark, but it's this beautiful orange hue. And I can see her from the window outside. And she starts walking down to the car, which I'm fine with. Nothing to worry about for me. I have a taser and pepper spray. I'm not that worried. And so she starts heading down to the car. She's on the phone with him. No offense, I love her, but she's loud. So I could hear her very clearly, and I could hear her when she went down to the car on that down below at the hill where that parking spot is. So I was like, okay, well, you're not completely out of my sight, and I can still hear you. And I hear footsteps a few minutes later coming up the stairs, and I was like, that's weird. I hope the cops aren't here, or we don't have any rangers here, because I don't know if it's not a felony, but it's trespassing. And so I hide under that table that had fallen down because it's pretty dark in there, and I just turn off my phone and everything like that. And I sit there, and I hear them. I don't see anything, but something walks right across from me because the floorboards were creaking. Like, this isn't like it's windy. The house is like moving with the wind. It's like just very well measured out footsteps. And so I kind of like curl up at this point because there's just no way. And something grabs me and drags me to the middle of the floor. But there was nothing there. And I get up and I just run out of the building screaming at my sister. And she's like freaking out at this point. And we did end up calling the cops because I literally was hysterical, like crying and screaming. And the cops come and an ambulance comes because they're like, okay, this kid is having a mental breakdown.
Need help.
I told them what had happened, and they were like, well, are you on any substances? And I'm like, no, I'm a teenager. I mean, I know that most teenagers in my area may be a little bit of delinquents, and that's fine, but I'm not going to be doing that. And as a minor, I wouldn't be caught doing that back when I was a minor. Can't use that excuse anymore. But I told them, like, I haven't taken any substances. I haven't been drinking. You can breathalyze me. You can do whatever you need. But whatever that was, I just, And it wasn't like how some people describe situations like scary slow motion. It was so quick, and I was out the door so quick. So that's story number 2.
Well, thank you, Angel. I appreciate you. There is no time limit on this, so if you have more stories you want to tell, keep going.
I mean, I do have a couple, but I think the one that scares me most and that I am paranoid about, especially living in Montana, is out on the Blackfeet Reservation, where my, I guess, gonna sound a little bit like Alabama here. Not really, though, but we call, like, people who we're close to, like, brother, cousin. So it's brusin. It's a little bit of a funny word. You can laugh, but my brusin, his name's Antonio. And we were just talking, and you know how you always hear those stories about like Appalachia and like
Yeah.
things that whistle at you or whisper at you. His grandma liked to go outside and just, chill out there. Just the kind of woman she was. She'd seen and she'd pray, and she ended up walking in a little bit later after she'd finished her pipe.
Empty words on cups.
A what?
Nothing I was referring to someone giving me a gift.
Oh, okay. But she'd finished her pipe, and Antonio was like, why don't you tell Angel some of the stories? And I'm like, okay, here we go. Because when she gets into storytelling, she gets into storytelling. And she's very enthusiastic about this. But she just sat down on the couch. And I felt like a little kid again because we were both sitting on the floor. And she starts telling us, and someone in the comments actually said the name. I'm not going to say the name because it brings definite bad luck in my experience. But she starts telling us about this theme and where they come from and how she had actually talked to one and it had turned into a shaman in front of her when she was younger.
I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I will not ever say that.
The walker,
I
yeah.
won't say the word. A walker.
The walker, yeah.
And she was like, some of them are kind and some of them are really evil. And you just need to be careful. Like, don't actually talk to anything. And she told us how she would talk to this shaman's bird. Because I guess the shaman had transformed and they had a bird. And she said the bird was talking to her. But she gets into, I guess, the basic stories about what's crawling around in Montana. Because we do have a lot of weird stuff crawling around here that is not the regular wildlife. But I just remember her saying, okay, good night. Like, the basic rules.
Yeah.
And we go outside because he wants to do some stuff he can't do inside, obviously, because it stinks. And I'm like, okay, well.
I know what you're stepping on.
Yeah. I'll tell you, Grandmama, she does not like that smell. He's about 6'5", and she would whoop him. But so we go outside and we're sitting on the porch and we're talking about these stories, and something scratches along the fence, and we have a lot of coyotes that actually just run through the yard because of the field mice and stuff like that. And so he goes to turn the porch light on because unlike some of the stories you hear like in California and stuff like that about coyotes like harming people or going after people, they just walk right past us. I don't know if it's because those like coyotes in a different state have something wrong with them, and that could very well be a possibility. But he's just like, oh, well, they do have a den not too far from here. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. And we hear some, like, they're yipping and the howling in the back. And I'm like, well, maybe we should get inside because I have to go first thing in the morning to travel down to Great Falls. And he says, well, what is that? And I look back behind me and I say, what is what? Because the porch light, it only can like light up so much that I can see, especially because I do have a Coke bottle thick prescription glasses that I will not wear unless I'm in public and actually need to read or see something. And I say, what? And he's like, what's on the fence? And I said, the fence is cracked, like it's an old wood fence. It has splinters in it. And he starts like walking up to it and he's like, no, what is that? And so I walk forward, like straight to it because I can't see worth a damn. And I look up and it's black, long, sharp fingers, like gripping the fence. But it's only one hand.
Yeah.
And I stepped back and I said, those are like, listen, I don't know what that is. I'm not going to say the name.
Yeah.
And he's like grabbing at my shirt at this point, and he's like, we need to go inside. And so we went inside, and like nothing happened for the rest of the night, but it definitely felt like there was something watching. And I literally didn't sleep.
Yeah, no kidding. I don't think I could sleep either.
But it's such like, it's just a nightmare here because something can come after you at any point, and you hear about it all the time and people think you're joking. I'm like, no. The people down the road have been literally chased by this, and it's been experienced by 10 other tribal members. Like, something's here.
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding. No, indeed. There's a lot out there that it's beyond mythology, really. And I'm sure there's plenty of more cryptids out there that have yet to be encountered. So, and I do hear from previous Native American guests that come on this live that the Appalachians too, they predate the tribes as well. So it's just like, you know, whatever's out there, whatever more is out there. Oh, I know that it's out there. We only know so much when this world goes dark, you know, during the dark hours. Because, well, we like being around the light where we can see and understand and things are tangible. When we can't see, it's, it can get pretty scary. And some of us are just like, you know what? I think we're good right now, you know?
Yeah,
So,
it's honestly, I don't know how some people can't believe until they experience it. Because when I was younger, you know, I'd always watch like Creepypasta
oh, me too.
and all the other like storytellers and the like top 10 ghost encounters, and I was like, this is like never, like I just didn't believe it. But now I'm like live in fear.
Oh,
Like, not that you should be afraid. Not everything is gonna harm you, but there is a good chunk of things that will. And we have so many missing people in Montana, and it just really makes you wonder, because yet maybe some people, you know, bears are not a problem. It's in their nature. Mountain lions, they hide whatever, you know, they unalive in trees and stuff like that. And so you don't know where these missing people go. And
yeah.
I definitely think it's a possibility that something just snatched them up.
Yeah. Yeah. Who knows? Really,
Ugh,
it's a lot of
I got like
speculation, you know?
goosebumps.
No, you're good. You're good. Yeah, no, this live, it's a safe space. Yeah, no, tell us, tell us how you feel. Tell us how you feel about this stuff. Tell us, like, I mean, you're telling everything from your experiences, and it's all valid. It is all valid. So, I appreciate you, Angel. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I do have one other thing, but it's not something I've experienced. But it kind of has to do with the walkers. I mean, I'm not afraid of really saying when to go. That's completely fine with me. Not something I'm that scared of. Especially when I'm living in the mall with my city, because it's not really common unless you go in an old building.
Yeah.
And that's just a ghost. That's not something that's crawling around. But
No, crawling around, I love it. I don't like
'cause
them
they
creepy
crawl.
crawlies, nope.
I'm so serious. They crawl. And it's, I don't know, it's just so disturbing. Because I'm not going to say they walk. But it's definitely more of a crawl, because they are like the creatures. But to trying to think. I don't know if anyone here is from Montana, but it's kind of by the Montana Tunnels area, and it's been shut down for quite some years now. And so me and my dad and his boss are the only ones who really take care of it. So we turn on the mill just to keep the machinery from basically unaliving itself because it's so old. I would call a machine an idiot, but it really doesn't have a brain. But I remember walking into the mill, and it's like a big circle. I would describe it as, and you go upstairs, lots of stairs. Like it will make you nauseous going up those stairs.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a floor that has like metal and stuff on it. And it's a pretty closed off area. We have electric fences and stuff like that. We see deer and wolves and all that stuff on our trail cams, but we know nothing makes it inside besides like rats and mice and maybe some rabbit here and there. But below the control room, it's pitch black, and there's wastewater, and it's dark. I think it's a dark red. I wouldn't say it's quite orange, but it's definitely dark red. So it kind of looks a little bit bloody, but it's not. I promise you it is not. It's from the ore that has been processed.
Yeah.
And but below there's this open room, and the wall kind of has given away because someone actually broke into the mine and used our front loader to break the wall. It's a whole thing.
Wow.
It's a whole thing. Still haven't been caught yet, but we know who they are. And so this wall is open.
Yeah.
And we have been finding like things made out of hair and big animal bones, like elk skulls and stuff like that, with their antlers like broken off and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But if a person's gonna do that, they're feral, but we don't have people up there. It's in the middle of nowhere. And so my dad ends up cleaning it up, as one does. We just throw them into the woods because it's a part of nature.
Thank you, Words on Cup.
Like, that's where they belong. And but almost every single week there is something unalived in there that's big, and something's been eating it. So I don't know if that's related to a Wendigo or not.
I know, according to lore, Wendigos are more cannibalistic. Am I correct?
Yeah, definitely. But I don't know if they have to eat something else because there's really no one up there.
Interesting. Huh. Well, thank you for sharing that. Thank you, Angel.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I hope you get some good stories for your YouTube channel.
No, you got me some good ones, yeah. And you're always welcome to come up here anytime. My schedule is Tuesdays to Fridays, 11 p.m. Pacific time to 1 a.m. So it's about a half an hour left. But yeah, no, thank you for being here, Angel. I appreciate you.
Yeah, of course. Thanks so much for having me.
Of course. Take care.
You too. See you later.
Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone. Up next, we have it'll be Words on Cups, Baby, and Heidi C. Hey, friend.
Hey, what's up, internet friend?
Doing good, dude. Doing good.
How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, man. It feels good to do the lives at this hour again. Yeah.
I know. I
It's
saw
appropriate.
that. I want your viewers to know that this is a safe space. It's a safe life. Like, I've been on others. I did not feel comfortable. I feel good here. As a grown 42-year-old person, I feel emotionally safe here.
I'm glad you do, man.
I can thank you, and I like the stories you viewer have. I like the details, the passion, the fear, and I like that I was interested like in UFOs, but from that I learned about other realms and the spirit realm and then the skinwalker. And I would not accept those ideas growing up, but the more people talk about them, good-hearted people, you connect the dots, and I'm like, there's something going on. This creature shows up only in the middle of the U.S. by the mountains, same description, same features, long hands, black hands, long red glowing eyes.
Yeah.
And now he shows he has strength. He can't go through walls, so he's trying to cut through a fence. He has long fingers. I think that is just, forget Bigfoot. That's the real deal, the skinwalker. I think I would like more of you viewers to open up about skinwalker stories, because I'm building a profile on that person. He shows up in Tennessee, Appalachian Mountains. He doesn't show up in Hawaii. He doesn't show up in Indonesia. For real, yeah, he shows up in the area, and that is a strange connection. So, and in the Middle East, I grew up there. We don't have that. So, interesting creature. And he camouflages. I don't know, but that's another topic. But I have a new story for you. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready, man. Go for it.
Australia, my friend, Australia. I came across a story which is I think is creepy. Till this day, no explanation. But everybody is a keyboard warrior, I believe them. They're trying to give you explanation, which I love. Australia, I think in the 90s, there was a family driving out in the desert at night. I didn't know how big Australia was. I grew up in the Middle East. It's huge. So you drive on the highway at night in the middle of nowhere. And there's a family of 4, kids, mother, father. And
Words on
they couldn't
cups.
see nothing.
Real quick. Hey guys, I see the comments. Be respectful. I'm asking respectfully. Be respectful, please. All right. This is a safe space, and if any kind of bullying if I see more bullying, I'm just gonna end up blocking. All right. Maintain this as a safe space. So carry on, Words on Cups.
Thank you. This family's driving, having a good time at night, and all of a sudden the streets start to rumble. And it lit up with lights and dust. And they said something is on top of the car, like a spaceship. And it put this thing down on top of their car, and they felt it shake. It was so heavy that it pushed the pressure down on the car. They felt it. And the wife told the husband, speed up. And he sped up. But this thing lifted up the car. It lifted up the car, and they could see him the road 1 meter, 2 meter, 3 meters up, and it suddenly dropped the car on accident. So as the car fell down, the tires popped, and they swerved off the road and stopped the car, and the thing flew up straight ahead, and they saw it go away. They quickly ran into the desert and hid behind the rocks, whichever cactus, and they hid behind the rocks. And this thing comes back, the humming noise, and it pushed up all the dust. But they can see yellow searchlight looking for the car and looking around where they're hiding. So they stayed hidden in the valley behind the rocks, and that thing flew away. They went on camera, on TV, and told their story. And you can tell when someone is real, they're authentic. You can feel their emotion, and they put you in the scene in their shoes. And they explained the story, and I'm like, what? So you think aliens are trying to abduct you in Australia? Come on. But then somebody in the comments said, your family was so lucky they weren't nabbed by an agency or something, we don't know. That thing that came on the car, she told him, because he used to be in the army, that was a helicopter, a Chinook, and it put a magnet down on your car. Who knows what her husband's job was, what he did. And it put the magnet on his car and lifted his car up. And all of a sudden his car fell down, a malfunction. And they went back looking for them in the desert. Once they couldn't, they left and they flew away. And that's why people go, I don't know if that's related. People go missing. Strange, but I like reading the comments. And that person was probably right. Magnet pulls up the car. you've seen the Chinook with the magnet, and they pull up stuff. That's true. They do end up or junkyards, and that's one of Australia's stories that haunts me till this day. There's another one where the husband didn't believe the wife, and she saw an alien ship, and the ship came looking back there. It's freaky. Australia is a whole different chapter. I didn't dive into much, but the Skinwalker now is my investigation. I snoop around, ask people questions, and it's a similar creature. And that's all I have to say, unless I just had to take this thing off my chest.
Yeah, for sure, man. Thank you for sharing it. Appreciate you.
No problem. Yes, be careful driving alone in the mountains. Don't drive out in the desert. So, like the other guest said, not everything is bad out there, but some is malevolent.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's it. Unless there's any other stories you want me to tell you, or you want me to drop. Your choice.
We have one more guest in the queue, so.
I'll be fair. I'll drop. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Be safe, Sam, okay?
You too,
Good
bro.
night.
Good night. All right. Up next, we have Heidi. Hey there.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing great. Thank you for being here. How old are you?
Old.
I have to ask TikTok standards.
55.
Thank you. All right. Are you okay with your story being on YouTube?
Sure.
Perfect. All right.
Okay.
Try not to cuss like FDFF. It's okay.
I
to swear
don't do
here.
that.
Did you heard the rules, right?
I know I don't do that anyways. I don't
Cool.
cuss.
And it's okay to
Not on
have
at least
religion.
not on TikTok.
It's okay to have religion in your story, but not to a point to where it's preachy. That being
Yeah.
said, it is
No.
all you.
Gotcha, bud. So the reason I'm saying these two quick stories, and I know you've got to go soon here, is I wanted to share that I don't want people to be afraid of ghosts and spirits because I've seen them all my life.
Mm-hmm.
And the first time I did, that I recall, like generally recall, is okay, so I was sitting in my bed and I was about 15 years old, and I was sitting there and I was sitting on my bed and I had my black and white TV. God, I'm still aging myself. Okay, it was what we had. But we had a 2-bedroom house, and I was sitting there and I was doing, quote unquote, doing my homework. And I was watching something on TV, and I could see straight down my hallway. And my brother wasn't home, my older brother, he wasn't home, and his bedroom was right next to mine. And I looked up and I saw this fisherman. Now I'm on the second story,
Mm-hmm.
and he basically floated towards me, looked right at me, kind of smirked at me, and drifted off into my brother's bedroom. And I had already seen ghosts and spirits like my whole life. And I was only 15, but I was kind of used to it. So I chased after it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I got off my bed and I was like, oh, hell no. I was like, where'd you go? And I ran into my brother's bedroom. I flipped the light on, looked in his closet. There was nobody there. Okay, so I literally saw all the details on his hat. He had like a fisherman's hat, kind of like, you know what, like the Gordon's fisherman looks like?
Right. Yeah.
Okay, but it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that. It was more transparent, but I could see the detail in his hat, and it had like lures on it, like from like the 40s or 50s. And so I told my mom about it, and I was like, Ma, you know, you're not going to believe what I saw and everything. And she was like, I have no idea, because my parents built that house when we moved in. It was like a blank lot. So nobody else had ever lived there. And as far as we know, I mean, nobody lived on the land, but, you know, they might have. So years later, I was about 22, and I lived down the street from my mom. My mom was in her condo, and she goes, "Come over, quick." And I was like, "Okay, are you all right?" And she goes, yeah, come over. So she goes, "Hey, I found," very nonchalantly, she goes, "I found this this old, photo album." And so we're flipping through it, and she, she's not doing anything to trigger me or point anything out. And I was like, "Ma," I'm like, that's the fisherman," because I told her it looked like a fish. The ghost looked like a fisherman.
Yeah.
I'm like, "That's the fisherman," and she goes, "I knew it. And I'm like, "Who is it?" And she goes, "That's Uncle Irving. I was named after Uncle Irving."
Oh.
Yeah, he passed away before I was born. Yeah, and so I was named after him, and never met him, but my mom was very, very close with her Uncle Irving, and she goes, "That's your Uncle Irving." I'm like, "That's him. That's who I saw." So I guess he was just coming to check on me, I guess, or something. Maybe see me or something. So I don't want everybody to be, I'm just trying to tell people that, like, not all ghosts and spirits are like out to get you or anything like that. Like, sometimes it really is just checking on you.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty cool thing. And I told my mom, I said, I'm like, that I pointed him out. My mom she wasn't even like trying to like point to it going, "Do you recognize him?" or whatever. I'm like, "Hold on, go back. And I'm like, "Who's that?" And she goes, "That's your Uncle Irving." I'm like, "That's the fisherman."
I love it.
I recognized his face. Like, I totally saw it. So, so not everything has to be scary when it comes to ghosts and spirits. And I've done, oh my goodness, probably 400 to 500 readings since I was like 26 years old, and I've contacted many spirits who have given answers to people who there haven't been. I've never had anybody be malevolent. It's usually loved ones trying to just come through.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's not always something to be afraid of. Yeah, it freaks you out when you see one. I'm not going to say, because I did see one. I've seen a few, obviously, in my life. However, in my own house, when my kids were at school, I was simply walking down my hallway into the laundry room to do a load of laundry at like 3:00 in the afternoon. And I saw a passer-through, which I call passer-throughs because they're like ghosts or spirits that are literally passing through your house. They're like just traveling, and they just happen to come through your house. And he looked like Mr. Burns from The Simpsons.
Oh my God, that's funny.
And so I call him Mr. Burns, and I was like, "Mr. Burns!" And I dropped the laundry basket, and I ran after it. I ran after him, and I was like, wait. And I opened up the laundry room, and he was gone. And I was like, "Oh, man, dude." Like, we scared each other because when we looked at each other, it was like deer in headlights on both sides.
I love it.
Dude, it was like I went, because I was like, and he looked at me and like he was like creeping, like Mr. Burns used to walk. And I looked at him and I went, and he looked at me and then he was like, phew, and he was gone. Like we scared each other.
I love it. That's so funny.
It was crazy. But it's not always like scary. So I just wanted to send the message out there to people that if you do see a ghost or a spirit, in my line of work, whatever, a ghost is someone who has not crossed over, and a spirit is someone who has crossed over and can come back from realm to realm. That's just the explanation for it. A ghost usually is just not either willing or they missed their chance and they're just scared. But they're usually like 99% of the time, they're not going to harm you. They don't mean to scare you. I mean, think of it this way. We are the ghosts in their world.
Yeah, they have personalities too, just like
Yes.
us.
They
It's not
carry
it's not
that.
black and
Yeah.
white.
Right.
They're complex just as much as we are, you know. And if they're gonna do harm, it's probably because you gave them a reason to do harm. You know, if not, then hey, I'm just here passing through, or like, hey,
Yeah,
just
I
chill,
didn't
you
mean
know.
to scare you. You scared me.
Yeah, it's like, hey,
That's how I
hey.
felt about Mr. Burns. It was like, you scared me. And I was like, you scared me.
Yeah.
And he was just like, phew, and he zoomed out and he was gone. And yeah, so, you know, it happens. We scare each other and we don't mean to. And they don't even know sometimes. They're like, oh my gosh, they can see me.
Yeah.
And it's happened to me a lot of times in my life, to where when I was a little girl in the grocery store, I would point people out and be like, Mommy, wave to the man. And she's like, okay, there's nobody there, honey.
Love it.
And she was like, let's talk about this in the car, because, you know, we don't want to talk about that in front of other. I'm like, Mommy, wave, hi. And my mom's like, God, there's nobody there. And, you know, this was like in the 70s and early 80s. And my mom was like, oh, dear God. But that was my life. And then my mom took me to the library, because, yes, I'm dating myself again. And we checked out a bunch of books about psychic mediumship and all of that crap. And then we sat on her bed and we read about it, because my mom just wanted me to understand that I wasn't crazy and I wasn't weird. It's just me.
Yeah.
And I'm not any different from anybody else. I'm no better than anyone else, and I'm no worse than anyone else. It's just an ability that God gave me.
Yeah.
Just like some people can play football, and some people can sing, and some people can dance, and some people can play the piano. She's like, you can see them. And she goes, but we do kind of need to keep it a little bit on the down low.
Yes.
So that's it. So that's the message I wanted to tell everybody: is don't always be afraid if you see one. It's probably just a protective thing.
Heidi, I've always respected mediums like you. I always, for the longest time, as long as I can live, really. Because if any of us normies were to just one day see your world out of the blue with no explanation, no context, we would go mad. And
No, I don't. I mean, if you do it since I can remember, because I didn't know that everyone couldn't do this, because when my mom told me that not everybody can see what you see, I was like, what? Like, that was like crazy to me. However, you'd get used to it. And even if you do, because you don't have to be like a weirdo like me to see a ghost or a spirit. I mean, you might see it in 2 weeks. You might see it 4 years from now. You don't know. Everyone can it's not whether you will or won't. It's whether it's not whether you
Whether
can
it
or
happens
can't.
or
It's
not.
whether you will or won't.
yeah.
And if you will, and if you're open to it, you might. But that's my whole point, is don't be afraid of it, because it's not all, it's not all
The Conjuring,
Halloween.
The Exorcist.
Yeah, exactly.
Hollywood
exactly.
really did like stigmatize the spirit world. I will say that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, there's for some other time. There's a lot of other interesting situations that I've been in, but they're all, they're all learning experiences. And I mean, spirits can communicate with us, and I have found communicating with some spirits, with like elderly people who have hired me as a client, as my client, and I have found they take me remote viewing, and there was this one older lady that God, she wasn't old, but she was like 70, and her husband passed away, and he kept showing me in her attic. And she goes, "Oh, honey, there's nothing in my attic. It's all insulation." And I was like, "No, he keeps showing me the attic." And I'm like, "I don't want you climbing up there because you had to get like one of those ladders or whatever, or get like a ladder to push open like on the roof, like on the ceiling of the closet."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Is that where it is?" And she's like, "Yeah." And she's like, and so her son came over the next day and went up, and I said, it's to the right, and there's a manila envelope. And I don't know why he keeps trying to tell me to go find the manila envelope. Well, I was wrong. It wasn't on the right, it was on the left. And he found it, and it had an insurance policy that was like $4,500 and like $600 in cash that he had like shoved up there for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't know about it. She knew about it now. So sometimes it can come in handy.
Yeah, no kidding. Wow. Heidi, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
We have 9 minutes
Nice
left of the
meeting you.
live. I'm just gonna close it now, though. Yeah, no, you're always welcome here. Hold on, real quick. Let me click that
I'll be
follow
back. I
button.
followed you.
Cool, I followed right back.
All right. Well, it was good talking to you, and you guys have a great night.
Yeah, you too. Take care.
All right. You too. Bye.
All right. Guys, we have reached the end of the live. Thank you all for being here. It's like 9 minutes left, but I'm going to close out with these 2 messages as I always do. The first message is if you have a excuse me. This is all being screen recorded too, so all be available on YouTube, on my YouTube channel. Same username, Samael_Nocturne. But anyway, back to the messages. I do have YouTube if you want to add me. For sure, Angel, yeah. I'll for sure. DM me your handle, your username and handle. Anyway, ADHD. First message, guys. If you're going through a mental health crisis, please contact the National Cell Phone Alive hotline. It is 988. The reason why I bring this up is because when I first started doing lives before they were ghost story related, I had a follower follow me on my Instagram and everything, and she called me on my Instagram and was ready to self-unalive herself. And she's still with us, thankfully, but I had to tell her, look, I'm not professionally equipped to handle something like this. The people at 988, they are, and it's 24 hours, and you can tell them anything. I've contacted them in the past, and they're the sweetest people you will ever talk to. I've been there when I was in my downs, and those downs lasted for a while, but they were there. But the cool thing too, though, is that it doesn't always have to be a radical situation. It can be a radical situation, yes, but it doesn't always have to be so radical. It could be just a bad day. Woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Someone gave you the bird on the way to work, or got into an argument with your best friend, coworker, boss, your partner. Give them a call. It's okay to talk. Okay. There are times in life where we're all the way up there and nothing can affect us, and then times where we're just down in the dumps, and sometimes that pit is hard to get out of, and it's okay to talk. So once again, guys, if you're going through a mental health crisis, please contact 988. My final message is break the chains that bind you. Keep moving forward in life, even if it's just baby steps. Look at yourself in the mirror and be proud of how far you made it, and show yourself the love for it. you owe it to you to not let the thoughts win. Live with conviction. And remember, you can't rain all the time. Have a wonderful night, everybody. Once again, I do narrate ghost stories, so if you have a story you'd like me to narrate, just message it to me. It'll be on my TikTok channel. It'll be on my YouTube as well as my Instagram account. So, and of course, I'll tag you in it if you so wish to. Have a wonderful night, everybody. And I will be on tomorrow. Take care.